So my name is Lizzie, and I normally work at UCH, and I work with patients and staff encouraging well-being through origami. Now this is a really powerful tool that I was taught by someone who is a patient. She found it really helped to calm her, and particularly during times of anxiety, it really calms to make something very beautiful, very structured, and it allows quite a good interaction between us. I know I'm on a screen, but I am here, and I hope to just give you that personal when we don't get the same amount of touch as we would have in the past. So I'm going to share with you, I think, a particularly beautiful piece, how to make a tulip. I'm going to take you through each of the steps. All you need is 2 pieces of paper, no scissors, no equipment. I will show you how to do everything. And I hope this can give you a little moment of calm. Maybe this is downtime for you, something you can do at home. We're all having to stay in, so ways to give ourselves a little break and think about other things and get focused, I think is really useful. This is a very cheap hobby as well. Any paper will do. So you can see I've used a scrap piece of paper, and in just a moment I'm going to place the screen over here and direct it onto my lap, and I will show you how I fold the paper. So I'll go nice and slowly. Maybe you'll just watch this, or maybe better still, you'll join me and have a go and consider yourself learning. It's about a good attitude to trying something new, giving yourself a little bit of a mental challenge, and this is like a little mental fitness routine for you. I hope you're trying to keep fit as well. That will help an awful lot during this time. And also, if you can do something that's, I think, a bit mentally enriching as well, hopefully this will give you a real break. People really describe origami as giving them joy, so I hope to give you just a little moment of joy and discovery. So I'm going to move this over here. You can see I'm a very colourful sitting room, lots of pieces of origami. I like a lot of colour, but for this I'm going to do it in white. So in just a second I'm going to direct this down onto my lap and show you how to make the pieces. Just to show you here, I can see in the background. So you could use some colourful paper if you wish, but I'm going to show you just standard paper so you know this is really possible for you as well. So first of all I'm going to show you how to make the head of the flower, this tulip, and it is a traditional piece of origami. So we're going to make a square. Now actually I want to make a smallish square for this, because the tulip looks really nice if it's a little bit smaller than the stem. It will all come together without any glue. It is like magic. And actually the person who set up the British Origami Society, Robert Harbin, was a magician, and he wrote a book called Paper Magic. There is magic to it. So to make this smaller squares, I'm going to simply take my A4 piece of paper and fold it in half. Now really take your time, be nice and accurate. Origami is about enjoying a bit of accuracy. Paper is very good, you can reposition. If you have nails, you can use those, and you're putting a little bit of stress into the paper and it will make you feel that bit better. So I'm opening this up. All I'm trying to do at the moment is make a square. So actually I will, because I've given a good strong fold, I should be able to just tear it. That's right. Very satisfying. There we go. And then I want to make a square from this, so I'm just going to simply take a side and get it all lined up. So my 3 rules for origami. One is be very precise and be critical on that, and it's, if you like getting things right and tidy, it's the art form for you. And also these strong folds give it strength, releases your tension as well. My 3rd rule is to remember to enjoy yourselves. That's important too. So I'm going to just get rid of this strip of paper. So to do that, I've turned it over and I'm folding it back there. There we go. I'm going to get rid of that strip, like so. There we go. So we've already got a nice diagonal. I'm quite pleased with the lighting here. Hopefully it can show you quite well. I'm going to add another diagonal. So your aim is to get 2 diagonals. That's it. Open up and then turn it over And it's already got a bit of a structure to it, hasn't it? It's already got a strength. I encourage everyone to enjoy every step. There's a beauty to every structure you're making. It's pure sculpture or engineering as well. Look at that. So I'm going to do a horizontal line and then a vertical line. But turning it over was useful because you'll see it will help it fold up a bit later. So I'm doing a horizontal, opening it up, and then the other side. And I think doing something very controlled when maybe everything else feels a little bit uncomfortable and out of our control is very powerful. This is a good tool for well-being. So open this up, and if you put your finger right underneath the middle and pop it up, did you see it had a nice little pop? And you should then be able to just easily fold it up to a triangle. So if you could take a little corner and bring it up to the top like so. This reminds me a little bit of a butterfly too. That's something else I can show you another week. So I'm actually going to do regular weekly folds to help whoever you are, your staff or maybe people in isolation. It's important we support you and feel well at home in ourselves as well. I've turned it over. Once you get going with origami, you'll find there's loads of great videos online. That's a great way of continuing. Share with me what you make. Be very interested. Truly, the possibilities are endless from folding. There we go. So it now looks like a square. Yep. So what I want you to do next, maybe if we all make sure our paper's the same direction, like that. And if you turn, almost think of this as leaves of a book. Leaf that through. Can you see there's a nice smooth side? And at the back, do the same thing. It's all sort of little open folds there. Well, leaf it through until it's smooth like so. That's it. Now our next step, if we all have it the same way round, if you look down on it, it kind of looks quite smooth. If you look at the other end, there's almost like little pockets there, can you see? So if you have those pockets at the top, just so that we're all the same way round, can you see there's little pockets there? Okay, so our next step is what's going to happen is we're actually going to tuck pockets from one into the other, which I'm just trying to think how that goes. Let me see. So what I want you to do is take the side from the top. Okay, I've got the little pockets there, and fold slightly over that middle line. Can you see the middle lines there? So you're folding it over a little bit further than that middle line. Not a long way, not a short way, but just a bit over. Can you see? So there's the middle line. It's a little bit of a judgment there. Open it up and do the same thing then on the other side. So I'm also going to be doing live folds, and I thought maybe Wednesdays at 2 o'clock and also Friday nights too. It's a new going out, doing a bit of origami. And I hope it'll be nice just to see someone at that moment. I know I've really enjoyed seeing other people do live things, so I thought I could do that with origami. So take the top again, slightly overlapping that middle line, and the same on the other side. That's it. Okay, so the next step feels a little bit tricky, but it's very cool. You're gonna have to slightly curve one into the other, but the pocket, one bit will actually stick in. So this is gonna try to stick into this hole here. So I'm gonna curve it and push it in. It doesn't matter which side goes into which, but can you see it's locked together? Turn it to the other side, and it's the same thing again. Again, I don't think it matters which one goes into which, but I'm curving it round and pushing it in. So you've sort of got a flat pat flower already. It's actually pretty close. You can see it's a nice shape. Now I find quite useful to fold over. Can Can you see there's that triangle? Just loosely fold it up just to give you a bit of a line. There we go. Right, our next step is how to open this up. So you can see it looks like a profile of a flower. You should be able to sort of open the sides. You see I'm opening up the sides. Now, there's two ways you could do this. You could either gently push down and flatten it, or if you've got a biggish piece of paper, this might just about work. This obviously isn't to give to anybody else, this is just for you. But there's actually a tiny little hole at the end, and you can blow into that. So don't overblow or it'll explode it out too much, but you can just gently blow into it. So I can give it a go. Make sure your mouth is nice and dry, and obviously, as I said, this is not for anybody else because this wouldn't be a good idea. But I think this is the easiest way to open it up, and it's quite fun. I'll see if I can do it. Oh, got some lipstick on there as well. Anyway, you can also push it down a bit as well. There we go. Can you see? It's got some pink marks on it now. I've actually got dressed up to stay in. There we go. So you should have something that looks kind of like a bud. And this is a really beautiful moment. You've made your bud and it's time to open it up. So there's 4 little petals and you can just gently, gently curl it down. Can you see? And then the next one. It's such a lovely sculptural shape, this. All held together, no glue, through its own tensions and tucks. Origamists really like not using glue where possible. It is a beautiful thing that you can be so clever and inventive with purely a piece of paper, which we all normally take for granted. But suddenly you're transforming it into a 3-dimensional object. And it's not obvious, is it, how this all works? That's what's intriguing. It's a challenge, and actually that's a little challenge, and overcoming that is a great thing. Isn't that beautiful? So hopefully you've made your tulip head. Now I can also show you how to make a stem as well, and it will then all stand together. So that's our head. Right. To do our stem, get another piece of paper, another A4 piece of paper, and we're going to use the bigger square now, I think, for this. So again, I'll direct it down. I'm going right through the basics again. So I'm going to take a corner and bring it down again. So before I've usually used a guillotine, but I'm rather enjoying just the simplicity of using simple paper and your own hands. Nothing more is needed. There we go. Nice strong line. That's right. Again, I want to get rid of that rectangle, so I'm going to turn it over. I find this the easiest way anyway. Looks like a Robin Hood's hat. Hopefully keeping up with this, but the good thing is with a video you can always rewind. There we go. And again, I'm going to tear this off. The stem's actually quite simple. And it's a brilliant thing because it will then stand up. I made the yellow flower that I showed you. This one I actually made last spring, and it's kept going all year. So hopefully you'll have some beautiful bloom for yourself. So open it up. We've already got that line, that diagonal line. Right, I'm going to turn it over, and again, enjoy that structure. Isn't that a beautiful thing? That in itself reminds me a bit of a ray. So I'm going to take, doesn't matter which end, I'm going to fold it in a straight line. There we go. Along there. And then the same on the other side, and it then looks like a kite. Not too many steps to this, but I think well worth adding a stem. And maybe this is something you can share if you've got kids. They will appreciate doing something a bit different. They may find this a little bit tricky, but it's a chance for you to show how with concentration you can get somewhere. And then the bottom end, the same thing. So we've done the sort of one longer end, and now we're going to fold up here to the middle as well. So this is all very new for me. I normally work with people one-to-one. I'm thinking of you there. And this is how we can be together. Thank goodness for technology. There we go. And then one end sort of looks longer. I want you again to fold that long end, the same thing again, into the middle. It's getting quite thick by now. And again, try and be accurate. Try and get really through that tip. Can you see? And then I'll do the same thing again on that side. We are almost there. Here we go. So it should look like that. Our next step is to fold this tip down to this tip. And you'll find it surprisingly just naturally does it. I guess there's a sort of a weakness there which just perfectly allows it to fold in half. Very satisfying. So give that a good strong fold. It's quite thick by now. And if you turn it round to this sort of smooth side, then fold it in half like that. Right, I'm going to turn it round. So can you see there's a stem there, and this is our leaf. So I slightly let go of the bottom there and slightly curl down the leaf and then close up the bottom. Can you see that's a really nice stem which will balance? The next step is to get the flower we made earlier. This is a bit like Blue Peter, isn't it? And mine's got lipstick on, but I've got a little hole there which you can put that in. And then ta-da! It all balances. There we go. So I hope that's been something different and a little bit exciting just from 2 pieces of paper. And I will continue to share some of my favourite folds. These are mostly traditional pieces so far, but I hope your flower gives you joy and a little bit of brightness to your day. Thank you. Bye-bye.